What's up, and welcome to episode 6 of the Q podcast with very special guest, Cole of Park Pros. Welcome.
What's going on? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, it's a pleasure to have you here. But before we get to know you a little bit more, I got to tell you the premise of the show. It's as if we were in a hypothetical queue line waiting to ride your favorite attraction. And while we wait, we just have a simple conversation as friends. So with that being said, what is your favorite coaster?
My favorite coaster. Okay, so I know
Nobody ever knows. Nobody ever knows right off.
Had his answer right away.
He's the only person, man. I had high hopes with you.
I came prepared, so I've got two answers.
Oh, wow.
It kind of balances back and forth for me. In 2018, I rode Steel Vengeance for the first time.
Okay.
I waited.
I still have not yet ridden that coaster.
You haven't, really?
I want to experience the hype of it.
It is the king of roller coasters, and it will change your perception on any other roller coaster. But with that being said, Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what really comes close to it? Like, people really put that as number one. Well, a lot of people have Fury, people have different things. But Steel Vengeance usually is number one up there.
Yeah.
Like, is it really that godlike? Is it that great?
And I would say, in terms of like strict roller coaster experience, the only really ride for me that comes close would be Voyage, when you get it on like when it's running really well, or holiday nights,
Yeah, the trimless.
Voyage is just another animal.
By the way, are you going?
I am going. Yeah. I was there last year for the first time.
Oh, okay.
Amazing experience. I'd recommend it to any coaster enthusiast.
Okay, nice. And I saw Goliath, by the way, for people who might have forgotten, that's Destination Thrills. I saw he already got his tickets. We spoke about it. He's going. So yeah, and then and some other enthusiasts, obviously, a lot of enthusiasts are going. So I was like, I might as well.
Right. I mean, it is an unbelievable time. I mean, getting to ride Voyage trimless, and even just the other coasters, there's hardly a line at all. Even with the social distancing this past year, you can just sit and marathon those things, like get around, go back in line. Jeez. And man, Raven and Legend both jumped up really high in my rankings this year. But anyways, back to your question.
No. I mean, you can freelance the conversation as much as you want. There's no structure.
Yes, yeah. I would say Steel Vengeance is my number one right now, and I know that's kind of a lame answer.
If it's that great, then it's not a lame answer.
It is. I mean, it's just hard to stack up to. I haven't been on rides like Lightning Rod or Fury, which I know a lot of people love, but
Lightning Rod is my number one.
Is it really?
Yeah, man.
Ride it at night at all or not? Because I know.
No, I did it first thing in the morning, like on reopening day.
Okay.
This past season.
Yeah, I did see your vlog for that.
Yeah, man. Crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
I thought I was only gonna get just that coaster, and I was kind of like okay with it because it started to rain if people don't know, every time I go to Dollywood, it rains on me. It pours every time.
Yeah.
And
it's rainy in those Smoky Mountains.
It really is. I didn't know that. But apparently it is. So I rode it, and it was amazing. And then it just rained on me. And then 2 hours later, I just got on everything else. So it worked out.
Nice. Yep. I had a trip planned for Dollywood this past spring. I was going to do like a whole kind of like go down to Dollywood, then go down to Carowinds, kind of that whole route over Georgia. I probably would have ran into you over Georgia. Obviously, change of plans. I kind of had to adjust things. I ended up doing a road trip out east, which I'm sure we'll hit eventually.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, to answer your initial question, I think Steel Vengeance is the way you have to go. And there's something about going to Cedar Point on a busy day and waiting like 2 hours for Millennium Force or 2 hours for Maverick.
I've heard though a lot of people they don't like the busyness of it, but you're saying that enhances it, which actually makes us very similar because I like atmosphere with theme parks. That's me. Like, I'm a coaster enthusiast, but more so I'm a theme park enthusiast where I just love like the ambiance, the atmosphere of vibing with other people, having an equal great time. But of course, you don't want super long queues all the time.
Right. I mean, obviously, as a coaster enthusiast, I would take an empty day at Cedar Point.
Of course.
Empty day. And I actually made a video this fall about was titled "Why You Should Avoid Cedar Point in
Yeah,
2021,"
I did
and
see that.
I got a lot of heat for that one.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm saying that like when you're at Cedar Point, you don't mind waiting like 2 hours for Steel Vengeance or Maverick
Mhm.
or Millennium Force
Mhm.
because you know what the ride is going to bring, and you kind of like it's kind of like almost like a Disney level type like park
I
feeling where you're
I
like this
did. I
place is just
recently mentioned that as well, that it has that vibe slash they're trying to make it into a full, like how Disney has the whole resort stays and all that. Like they're trying to make it a full package experience. So,
right. And I
yeah.
think it's like that feeling is almost like because more of like the level of roller coasters and thrilling rides that have there, more so of like, the ambiance of Disney and the feeling of like, kind of bringing back memories from your childhood and
Yeah, yeah.
everything. And for
Mhm.
me, really the only two parks I've been to where I'm like geeking out so much because I know there's so many great roller coasters around me are Cedar Point and Magic Mountain. And I mean, those are the two obvious
Yeah, that
picks.
makes
Those
sense.
are
Yeah.
those are the kings.
Right, right.
Maybe I would slot Great Adventure in there too. And I still have to
Mhm.
get to a lot of the Cedar Fair parks on the East Coast, but for me, I think it's just those two right now that are kind of
While
like
we're on the
Disney
while
level.
we're on the subject, and I actually scratched this, but like, I mean, it's a great segue. What would you rather? I mean, people have fought this long for like a long time. Coaster enthusiasts making YouTube videos. What do you prefer more, Cedar Fair or Six Flags parks?
Oh, that's tough. I would say,
Be careful now, because people are going to give you some
yeah,
heat.
it's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, being from around this area, Chicago, Milwaukee area my whole life,
Hmm.
I definitely grew up as like a Six Flags kid, and
Because Great America is your home park.
right,
Hmm.
exactly. And
Hmm.
I think because of that, when I was first learning about rides and roller coasters and stuff, like the Six Flags parks are the ones that I immediately looked to and wanted to
Yeah.
visit first. And, I visited
Hmm.
Great Adventure at a young age and Magic Mountain at a young age, and those got me hooked. So I think I have to go with Six Flags, but I will
Okay.
say that
Wow.
I mean the Cedar Fair parks are they're just so nice. Like they always
No,
have
they
a really
really are.
nice atmosphere. They're all really
Mhm.
well taken care of.
They are.
They're
Besides
beautiful.
Carowinds, bathrooms are
I
awful,
I've
man.
heard you've got some qualms with
Bro,
Cohen's bathroom.
it's like it was just like I'm not gonna get explicit in it, but it's just like they didn't care. The
Right.
ground was like it was flooded, but it wasn't of water.
Yeah.
So to
I got
yeah,
it. I get the
yeah.
picture, yeah. But I don't know,
So
though. I think I still have to go to a lot of, like, the really good Cedar Fair parks, like, I
mhm,
haven't been to California's Great America, I haven't
yeah,
been to
that's
Carowinds, I haven't been to King's Dominion, which are kind of,
mhm.
all at the top of my list of parks that I need to
Same
get to
here.
at
Like
some
those
point.
are all goals for this year if we can get out there and kind of travel more to do so. But yeah, absolutely. But speaking on Carowinds though, like it's not, it's a beautiful park. It is a top tier park. I was
Mhm.
just saying about the bathrooms. That's it. But
Right.
everything else, it's a to me, it's a wonderful park. Just
Yeah,
everything about
Carowinds I think Carowinds and Dollywood are kinda like my 1A, 1B of parks that I need to get to this year, like,
it.
stop putting them off.
Man,
No exception.
Dollywood is the most perfect theme park, along with what I've heard about Silver Dollar City, like same vibe and all that stuff. You got amazing lineup of coasters. You have theming galore. You have just kind, friendly staff, and then you have great food. It is the Disney with coasters.
Yeah. I mean, if it's even like a fraction of how good Silver Dollar City is, I'll love it because I mean, Silver Dollar City is in terms of like strictly theme park, if you want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
put it like that, it's my
Hmm.
favorite theme park
I can't
in the
wait to
country.
go. Like they're opening up in March, and I really want to be there.
Yeah,
Like,
you got to get there. I mean, of the parks that I've been to in the country, that would probably
mhm.
be the one I would recommend to anyone.
Wow.
And people are like, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's like it's hard to get to. Whatever. It's
Mhm.
worth it if you can get a
Get
flight in
there.
Kansas City or
Yeah.
Springfield or something. Like,
Yeah. What is the best place to fly to?
so when I visited, me and
Yeah.
Carla Hale met up there
Right.
in I think like late November now.
Hmm.
It was for the Christmas event.
Hmm.
I flew into Springfield, which being from Chicago, I just flew United. It
Right.
was a pretty easy connection. I didn't even know that you could do that. And then from there,
Hmm.
it was like a 45-minute drive.
Oh
I
wow.
think that's probably the best idea. But like,
Okay.
you can always do, if you wanted to do like, there's like that trio of parks in Missouri. You got Silver Dollar
Yeah.
City, you got St. Louis and
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City, and they're all like around like 3.5 hours from each other ish.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, St. Louis and Kansas City, like you can get flights from anywhere to those places, and they're reasonable drives to Silver Dollar City as well. But any of those three really work. And I
Okay.
mean, I would highly recommend it. I mean, I
Okay.
was not planning on going back at all this year, but I'm like, I got to get back. I love the park too much.
People say Silver Dollar Cities, you should do it more than one day.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially if it's a busy day there,
Which
it
it
would
would
hard to
be, I
get.
think it would be a Sunday.
Okay, I don't think that would be horrible. I mean,
But I do St. Louis on Saturday.
yeah, I went to in the middle of a week. The first time I went to Silver Dollar City was in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in the middle of the week, maybe like a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday or something.
Right.
I think I got there Wednesday afternoon. I was at the park for like 4 hours. I spent the entire next day there, open to close, and I stayed for probably 4 hours the next day. So I did basically like the 2 full days at Silver Dollar City, and I never got bored. Like,
that's good.
I got on a ton of rides. I was riding everything. It was not packed at all. It's just a place that, like, it kind of has that Disney level ambiance and feeling to it. But and you can't beat the scene. I mean, up in the Ozark Mountains in Branson, Missouri, you wouldn't expect it to be as beautiful as it is. But
bro,
I mean, you've seen the pictures of Wildfire.
I've seen pictures, video, all that stuff. Which is what you're saying is, that's very true. But it's even just like their locations, like even Dollywood. It's just in the Smoky Mountains. It is beautiful. Like, you just search the earth to find, well, at least the United States, to find the perfect locations to fit your theming of what you want to do. And they did a great job. So
yeah, and I feel like Pigeon Forge is one of those places too where there's so much around to do it, especially if you're an coaster enthusiast. There's like there's 10 mountain coasters up there.
So many.
I've heard that it's a kind of a fun like little drinking town too, which
it is. It has everything. So it's really a great place, and I plan to go back as a season pass holder back in March, in March when they reopen. So, but
yeah, I think I'm planning a road trip right now, but I think Dollywood is going to be the last stop before Hollywood Nights on this road trip that I'm planning.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. I want to speak on Park Pro's trip plans for 2021, because a lot of people, a lot of enthusiasts make videos on this, like announcing their plans, and 2020 was a disaster because they all almost fell through.
Right.
What do you have so far? For me, before I let you speak, I have dates of when things are opening, like parks that have opened their, announced their opening date, but I haven't really made any official plans because I'm waiting for certain things, such as the Velocicoaster at Universal. I'm waiting for Iron Gwazi. I don't want to schedule something and then that happens and I miss it.
Right. I think that's kind of the dilemma that like all coaster enthusiasts are having right now, because one, we don't know when any of those rides are going to open. I mean, you, me, and everyone else that likes coasters is planning like a Florida trip for March.
Oh, for sure. It's going to be a good a week long minimum that I would be there, because you got Icebreaker, you got Velocicoaster, you got Iron Gwazi, then you just got everything in general that they have to offer.
Right. For me, like, I'm almost looking at like tackling that in 2 weekends, like 2 weekend trips throughout the year, maybe one like in spring to do Tampa, but I just feel like Orlando, especially me not being there since I was 15 and only going to Disney World then, I have so much to tackle down there.
Bro, even Disney, I mean, there's so many more new additions. We could have a whole podcast episode on that alone.
Exactly. So I'm thinking of almost like breaking it up into 2 trips, maybe like
for sure.
One specifically to ride Velocicoaster and Iron Gwazi, assuming they open around the same time, maybe just plan the trip based on that. But then I also want to get back to Orlando, obviously.
For sure.
That stuff. And I think that would be more of a fall trip. That second.
I think that would be good. I think spring and summer will be really hectic. Just normal crowd levels, people spring break and or summer break.
Right.
Then you have the Velocicoaster. They're saying summer. And then Iron Gwazi.
Weird because it's been tested for like almost 2 or 3 months now. Like,
why don't
they just open it? It's little
But
bizarre.
they're doing testing, but I'm not sure if they're done with the overall rock work and theming for it. It looks pretty much completed.
Yeah.
But just like Iron Gwazi looks completed. But I think Iron Gwazi's definitely on the way of like straight up March, if not February.
Let's hope so, because it's getting to that point where I'm starting to have that coaster itch, and not a lot is open right now. So
nothing. But yes, back to what you were going to say. Your plan.
Yeah.
What are your plans so far? Of what do you have so far planned?
So last year, as anyone that kind of has watched my channel, a lot of my videos have been revolved around like an East Coast road trip that I did last year, where I kind of started at Cedar Point, went up to Kennywood, did a bunch of the New Jersey and Pennsylvania parks, and then ended up actually at Hollywood Nights at the end of that trip. So I'm kind of still planning to do the original version of that trip, which was going down south and knocking out like Dollywood and Carowinds.
So that would be first.
Actually, I think we're going to reverse it now. So I want to get up to it's probably going to start with me flying into Newark and trying to knock out American Dream, assuming that Sandy's is open. I know that they have so many issues with that.
Right.
Otherwise, it's going to kind of depend on, like whether Jersey Devil is open by May or whatever that is.
They're moving. You don't think so?
It's Six Flags. It could be done tomorrow, and the ride wouldn't open until August.
Hey, so. I'm thankful for at least they have a whole YouTube channel and Instagram that updates you on that. I'm thankful for that because no other Six Flags park has given me that type of update vibe. And it sucks. I got to dig and do research and then get I don't know, to find answers. But they're actually just giving it to us. And it looks kind of close to complete. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of moving parts, and it's going to be a very flexible kind of trip because, you look at Jersey Devil, that would definitely be an option for us if it's open. I still have to do Six Flags America. I've never done that park before.
Let me know. I talked about that on my stream yesterday at the time of this recording. I want to go. They say it's in the middle of nowhere. I'm excited.
Yeah. I mean, at the very least, it's like 7 or 8 credits, and it's free because I'm a pass holder. So
that's true too. Yeah.
But then I haven't done King's Dominion, which is again towards the top of my parks that I need to get to. And then obviously Busch Gardens Williamsburg is another one.
Pantheon.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's so many coasters that are we don't know when, like if, and it is hard, this is going to be the year
you can't plan much because you might want to be there for an opening day, or at least with your trips, you want to at least have that big coaster that you're looking for be open. So
right. Yeah, and I think I'll probably stop at Williamsburg regardless, just because I haven't been to that park in maybe like 7 or 8 years.
I haven't been at all, and I'm looking forward to it.
It's beautiful. It is a beautiful, well-run park.
They say it's the most beautiful. Well, it was voted, I think, the most beautiful park.
It's a great park, and now I think with Pantheon looking kind of like that standout coaster at that park now, I think they're going to start getting a lot more attention nationally, like in terms of
that's true.
In terms of coaster enthusiasts,
because nobody talks about Pantheon. It's been forgotten amongst enthusiasts in regards to all the other things. There's so many coasters coming out. It's ridiculous. It's great, but it's ridiculous.
Looks better than Iron Gwazi. Like in my opinion, I think
visually, no,
right up there. Not visually.
You said just the ride?
Pantheon, looks like as good, if not better, of a ride than Iron Gwazi. In my opinion, I think it's right up there.
So you were just like me. You were underwhelmed with the POV of Iron Gwazi.
I didn't watch the POV of Iron Gwazi. I'm not a POV watcher because then it ruins the ride for you. I'm not. Yeah, I steer clear of it. It was on.
Okay.
I was tapping through my Instagram feed that entire day. Everyone's reposting it.
Okay, so real quick, when you make a video, this is like what the Q podcast is about because people get to know the person I have on here that I'm talking to, and get to know different things. So we'll get to go into the dynamic of how you do YouTube videos and all a little bit later on. Okay. But while we're on the topic of this right now, you don't watch POVs. So when you make a video and you haven't been to that park, how does that work?
I mean, for the most part, I'll say that I stopped watching POVs probably like in 2018.
Okay.
So, I know for the most part, like what most roller coasters like do, like
Yeah.
generally speaking, right? Like
Yeah.
I know what like Intimidator does. I know what Fury does. Like
Hmm.
just from those rides being around for so long and like catching glimpses of it and everything. But I mean, in terms of new rides, especially the last 2 years when they come out, like I don't want to watch it because
Oh, so it's more so new rides.
yeah, it's
Okay.
more of like a new philosophy that I picked up
Okay.
because
No, I like that.
I'd rather enjoy the ride and like
Different elements you don't want to be like expecting it, so to speak, either.
exactly, yeah. I don't want to be
Okay.
like, oh, I wish that element had more airtime or I wish this
Yeah.
version did this.
I just think that POVs never do it justice. Like it's a whole different experience from seeing it. That's just me in experiencing it. It's not the same. Like
Right.
something you
Well,
can watch from home and it won't be as intense, obviously, because
right.
you're
And the
passive.
thing with the Iron Gwazi
Hmm.
POV that everyone
Hmm.
was complaining about, like the pacing or whatever, it's like it's probably like its second or third run of the day.
Correct.
There's no water dummies in there. Like
Hmm.
there's not a
Hmm.
bunch of people riding it. It's like, come
Hmm.
on,
That's
like
true.
really.
Okay. Okay. You
But
got me there.
that's just a roller coaster nerd nitpick that they
Yeah.
love to do.
Okay.
Anytime anything comes out, it's complain about it.
People, it's popular. It's cool to hate. It's cool
It
to,
is. It
yeah,
is. Yeah. Yep.
it's weird. It's weird. But in regards to you've been doing YouTube, you rebranded, I guess, in 2020,
I
correct?
did. Yeah, actually, a year and a week ago from what the day we're recording this. So,
Right. Which is crazy with the amount of success you've had, which is insane.
thank you.
But you have a video dating back November 2011 of Iron. It was a Iron Wolf tribute. Did you do more? So you did more content beforehand, and then what? Did you delete all the videos except that?
No, that was the only video I had, and I thought
Oh,
so when it came to, I really got back into the coaster community. It was definitely a hobby I had when I was like probably like 10 to 15 or something, and it kind of
hmm,
died off in high school. And I went to college in Nebraska, so I didn't really
hmm,
have like a park close or anything to me.
right.
It kind of picked up actually because of Steel Vengeance, and
Oh wow.
I saw the announcement for Steel Vengeance or something like on YouTube or something. I started
Hmm.
watching coaster videos again, and I'm like, all right, well, this is not something I'm ever going to miss. Like even if like I even have like this little flicker of like roller coaster hobby left, like
Yeah.
this would always be something that I would go try.
Hmm.
And after that trip to Cedar Point to ride Steel Vengeance, like I was just hooked again, like immediately
Oh,
after that.
so wow, that's pretty cool actually. Like you saw something, you got hooked on it again, and then you were like, you made a trip. Usually people will find an interest and they won't like be able to get out there or do it that quick, whether for they need money for whatever it is. But you like got reinterested in it and then you went right to Cedar Point and kind of did
Yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly. And I
It's
had
pretty
been like
cool.
I'd been to Cedar Point before and everything, and
Mhm.
I'd been to a bunch of parks from my previous interest in the hobby, but I took a good like 6 or 7 break from the hobby, and it was funny when I came back because like I missed out on like Fury. Had no idea Fury was built, so I came back and I'm like, there's this like kick-ass Giga
Yeah,
like in
man. Yeah.
Charlotte. And
Yeah.
Fairwinds is like a cool park now. Like that was all new to me. Like I
Yeah.
missed out on the Lightning Rod. I had no idea that was a thing.
Yep.
So I come back and like there's all these great rides, and I'm still kind of catching up, honestly, on the years that I
It's pretty
missed to
cool.
get to
In a
these parks.
way, I'm not mad at you. I think it's actually a pretty like dope outlook in a way because it's almost like people watch the show live
Right.
and a TV show, and you waited till the season ended, all the episodes ended, and now
Right.
you're binge watching
Exactly.
a
Yeah.
TV show. So you don't have to wait till next week for the new episode. You have all these rides lined up for you now that you could just hit whenever you can and enjoy it rather than, oh, I gotta wait. Well, now you're kind of at a standstill in a weird way, like the rest of the community. You're waiting
Right.
for the new rides, but you still have like a back catalog of bucket list rides that you want to hit up. Same here. So that's
Exactly.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I'm still catching up a lot, and I've got
Oh, same here.
a
Hmm.
lot of trips planned, but
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, even before then, I had a pretty good baseline of like of parks that I've been to around the country. So some of them
Okay.
have added new stuff, some of them haven't. So, um,
Okay. So what was your first coaster, if you can remember?
like
And what age were you?
first ever roller coaster or first
Mhm.
roller coaster that got me into roller coasters?
Actually, yeah, that both. What your first roller coaster period, and part B, were you scared? The next question of the two-part question, I guess, was what coaster made you become an enthusiast?
Yeah, we always used to go to Six Flags Great America, like, when I was a little kid, we'd go with, like, my
Mhm,
cousins and stuff, so
mhm.
I think the kiddie coaster at Great America was called, like, Spacely Sprocket Rockets or something. I probably
Yes.
rode that when I was, like, 6 or 7 or something, and that
Mhm,
was the first, like, roller coaster that I went on,
mhm.
and then, like I mentioned, kind of, like, towards the beginning of high school-ish, I started to go back to the park for, like, birthday parties and stuff, and that's kinda
Mhm.
when I got hooked on it.
Okay.
The coastering community was a lot different back then, and I don't know if you were an enthusiast back in, like, the late, like, 2009, 2010, 11
I was
11. That's
not.
when I was, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
not yeah, yeah, no.
obviously, like, there was no Instagram, like,
Correct. That's
Facebook
what I
was
heard.
very
It was
new.
just forums and
It was forums, like, I
yeah,
I was, like, 15, and I'd go on forums all day, and I'd refresh it, wait for someone new to post,
yeah.
and that's, like, how we talked about roller coasters back then, and it's,
Mhm,
like, coming back, I think the most surprising thing to me,
mhm.
as, like, someone in their 20s is just, like,
Yeah.
how mainstream the hobby is now. Like,
It
it's
is
not, like, a weird thing to
no,
be a roller
mm.
coaster enthusiast anymore, like, a lot of people are into it now, and that's, like, the coolest thing that I've seen.
It was just like before they would call us just thrill seekers. Now it's like roller coaster enthusiasts, and it's a whole movement in a way. Like it has a whole community, subculture, all that stuff, and it's weird. But like, I think I was talking to Dale, Coaster Daddy, and then also Kalaheo. Uh, they're very welcoming, but also like they could be ruthless at
Mhm.
times, which is I don't know. It's kind of cool to me, but uh, it's so different. Even just from a few years back, 4 or 5 years, it's I don't know. It's just different.
It is, and I mean, it was shocking for me to come back and just see, like, how I mean, it was just such, like, a small hobby back then, like, I didn't
Hmm.
know anyone that, like, cared about roller coasters, and I mean, still today, like, if I tell my friends, like, "Oh, you're into
Yeah,
roller coasters," like, they're still like, "Okay, that's kinda weird," but still, like, there's I feel like it's almost like it's definitely doubled, if not tripled or quadrupled in size of the community, and it's just
oh
so
for
much more
sure.
vocal now, and there's so much
Yeah.
content on it, it was unbelievable to get back to, and that's kind of the reason that I started YouTube is because when I started getting back into the hobby, I started seeing other people doing it and sharing their
Hmm.
thoughts on rides, and I thought I had a lot of interesting opinions
Hmm.
and, different perspectives on different rides and roller coasters that I could offer to the community, so that's kind
Okay.
of been, like, the driving force of me wanting to start YouTube, last fall and then kind of really diving into it,
So you did that
early
one video in 2011, and then you waited all the way till
Yeah,
2020 to start a another push for YouTube.
right.
Um,
So I was actually before my time, honestly.
yes.
I
I
don't think
mean
anyone really I mean, besides, like, the OGs, like David
yeah,
Ellis
the
and
OGs, as we know,
yeah,
they're OGs. But as far as coaster content and stuff like that in 2011 or so, no.
I should
You
have stuck with it.
wow.
I'd be the biggest creator right now if I would've stuck with that video in 2011.
Straight up your full-time job. Like,
Yeah,
seriously. It's
but
crazy.
for anyone
Yeah.
that's missing context, basically what that video was, like, a video tribute to Iron Wolf, which is now
Yes.
Firebird at America, as I think they call it now.
Mhm.
But, it was the stand-up coaster at Six Flags Great America, and I basically, like, took, like, a couple shots of it, like, a couple off-ride shots. I did a POV of it.
Mhm.
I don't think that was with the ride operator's permission, but,
Of course. I mean, you're starting out or you're just doing your own thing, you're interested in something, you might need to take a little risk here and there. So,
Right, right,
I
but,
don't blame you.
basically
I
that
don't
was
condone it these days, but I
right,
don't
right.
blame
It's a
you.
whole different world nowadays,
Yeah.
but, basically it was just, like, something I wanted to have, like, for myself as, like, just some footage of Iron Wolf that I had, and it's the first video on my channel. I decided when I, wanted to start it up, I'm like, "Should I start a new channel or should I just keep it?" And I thought, it'd be kinda funny to have my first video be that from 2010 or 2011 or whatever.
2011, yeah, and
I
then
I stuck
later
with it.
on.
Right.
So, was did you always have park pros even back then?
No,
And then also, where did that name derive from? What is the origin?
people ask me that.
I mean,
The
I
thing
have
that
to ask.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't originally Park Bros.
Mhm.
I don't remember what my channel was named before
Come
I
on,
started.
it wasn't that long ago. It was only
2011.
it was only 10 years.
I honestly have no idea.
I
And
know.
then I went to Max Force Media Day last summer, and I kind of wanted to like have a channel where I could post stuff if I wanted to before I was like really serious about getting into YouTube. And I think I
Okay.
renamed it like Coaster Cole or something like that. And I
That's
didn't really
actually
like that. So
pretty cool.
yeah, I mean, I didn't love it. And when I really wanted to get into YouTube, I kind of wanted to have like something that was less about me and more of kind of like a brand per se.
Mhm.
So I started brainstorming ideas, and I I can't remember how it came to me.
Mhm.
But one thing that people always comment, especially when I first started, there's a channel called Park
Park Bros.
Bros based out of
Yeah, out
California,
based out
and
of
I've never met those guys.
California, yep.
I don't know them, but I
Yeah.
remember like maybe like the first 5 videos I posted, especially I would get like 3 comments that would be like, "You ripped off the name from Park Bros." I'm like, Park Bros and Pros is a completely different
It's a
connotation.
completely different, yeah, man.
And those I really like those guys' videos.
Oh, for sure.
I hadn't even heard of them, to be honest, until I started getting those comments, and then I looked them up.
Mhm.
I'm like, "Oh, these guys make pretty good content." And
Yeah, yeah. I
they're
mean, they give me a good fix of Cali-based theme parks and stuff. So
exactly,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. They do a really good job out there. But
Mhm.
I hadn't heard of them because I was still kind of new to YouTube, Ghost YouTube at that point, anyway. So I did not copy it off of Park Bros, or
Yeah.
record straight on that.
Mhm.
But I just kind of went through like different names that included like coasters or theme parks, and there's so much taken now. I was
There's
surprised.
so many people with coaster in their name.
Exactly,
Yeah.
especially on like like little Instagram accounts and stuff. Uh,
Mhm.
I was surprised that Park Pros wasn't taken, and so when I saw that it wasn't, like I looked on Instagram, everything, I looked on YouTube.
Yeah.
I kind of just took it and run with it, and I think it's kind of a fitting name for what we do on the channel. So
Yeah, I think it's very cool, and then I like the aesthetic of your YouTube channel. Like, I think the logo's nice. I think the banner is nice. It's very uh clean and minimalistic. I mean, it's just there, and I think
yeah,
it's just nice. It's not
exactly
all
what I
over
was
the
going
place.
for. Yeah, I
Yeah,
appreciate you saying that. Exactly what I was
yeah,
going for. Nothing
yeah.
crazy. I'm not a professional graphic designer or anything.
Oh, so you did it yourself?
I did, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Whole
nice,
thing
nice,
myself.
nice.
So
Oh, very solid, very solid. So, real quick, you mentioned that you went to Max Force Media Day.
I did,
And
yes,
this was before you had a YouTube channel.
right.
How did you get media?
So I have a friend from when I was like originally an enthusiast that
Okay.
he started his own. It was like a forum YouTube channel. You can look it up. It's called. It doesn't really exist anymore. It doesn't post. It's
Mhm,
called Great American Thrills. The guy's name is David. Um,
mhm,
and they basically just sent him an email saying like, would you be interested in coming to media day, because he was on their media day list from way back when, probably from
mhm.
Goliath, honestly.
Wow.
He just shot me a message, was like,
Ooh,
do you
by the
want
way, I wanna talk Goliath in a second.
to, yeah, we could talk
Yeah,
Goliath.
man. Yeah.
um but basically he just shot me a text, was like, do you want to go with me to media day? I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, and it sounds like a good opportunity. It's something I kind of want to get into in the future. So we went. It was great. Got a couple on ride video and stuff. And
You did, yep.
Goliath is a great ride, and I think it fits that area of the park much better than the 5 or 6 things that they had proposed for that area beforehand. So,
Right, right.
um,
Um, so I'll get into Goliath more so in a second, but as far as Max Force, um, I didn't get to ride it when I visited in 2019. It was closed. I went July 30th, 2019. Um, that sucked. You did a whole video. I think I'm trying to correct me. I forgot the title of it exactly, but it was like, is it a good fit or something like that?
right.
Of yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Do you think still to this day? Do you think it's a good fit for that part?
Um, I really like Max Force. I think
Hmm.
it's probably my second favorite coaster in terms of just like how good it is at Great America. American Eagle will always be my favorite coaster at Great America, no matter
We're
what.
gonna talk about that in a second.
That's fine. We can.
Yeah, man.
But I think in terms of like my rankings, I'd
Hmm.
probably put Max Force number 2 behind Goliath.
Hmm.
And I think in terms of Six Flags standards,
Hmm.
it is a very good addition for Great
I,
America.
I I agree.
I
I have
think
a video talking about that segment, like linking it with Over Georgia coming out at the time of recording tomorrow. So yeah, yeah.
it's an interesting kind of development because kind of the tail end of my first stint as a coaster enthusiast was
Hmm.
the addition of X Flight at Great America.
Yeah.
And back then, that was our first major coaster in like almost 10 years,
Really?
like since Superman Ultimate
I
Flight.
did not know that.
And people didn't know that, but Great America, like we had a long, long time of not having a really major roller coaster.
We at Over Georgia are now on 10 years.
Yeah, but I mean, in the mid 2000s, like to early 2010s, like you guys were kind of almost
Oh yeah, yeah,
like a
that's true.
favorite child.
Yeah,
But the script has totally flipped the last 10 years, where Great American now is getting a major coaster every like 2 or 3 years.
it's such
But
a
it was
amazing
not
park to
like
me.
that. It was
Yeah,
not like that when I was a coaster enthusiast.
and then what? I talked about it in my vlog from Great America. X Flight was the second ever wing coaster.
I th- yeah, it was either like the first one announced or the first one to open. Like
It's
it was
something like
that
it's
and
yeah,
Wild Eagle. They were like
yeah.
right next to each other. I'm sure Dollywood got it open before Six Flags
It
did.
was something like that.
It was I think it was the first ever announced one.
It was something I don't remember, but I still said that freaking Wild Eagle I'll take over X Flight. It just had more
Yeah, I can see that.
positive G's that I liked, and some other. It was I don't know. I liked it, but they're not bad either ones. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I love the ones that I've been on. I've been on Gatekeeper, and I think Gatekeeper is like
number one.
probably number one. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
Thunderbird is right there.
A lot of people have Thunderbird as their number one of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
can
think
see
I
why.
think they're 1A, 1B. They're right there.
Okay.
I said in a video which one I preferred.
Okay.
I can't remember what I said, but they're both very good.
Yes, guys, make sure you guys check that out on his
Yeah,
channel.
someone fact check me on that.
Yes. Okay. Now something I'm hyped about. Goliath.
Yeah, Goliath stand.
Goliath before Lightning Rod was my number one.
Okay, I can. I can't see that.
Nobody can. But that's to me the beauty of being an enthusiast. You don't have to always like what people like. You have different
Right.
things that you do like or whatever. But I'm just saying, in that back row right seat, that drop was
Mhm.
memorable to me.
It does. It does have one of the top 10 drops on any coaster I've ever been on. That is not up for debate.
And I don't know about you, but I sometimes too, whether it be a good day or you're just excited or you're celebrating something or you're with good people, family, friends, whatever, that can enhance the experience sometimes with anything, a theme park experience or a coaster ride. So I was there and I didn't see my brother in a while and I went with him. You know, he's in the vlog. But that ride on Goliath was something memorable. It was just a great ride. It had been running all day, so it was like warmed up and all that stuff. And it was just a good ride. Had some pretty interesting elements to me.
Yeah, it is
Um,
a very unique RMC. I feel like the elements are more drawn out and like larger scale, despite it being more of a like a compact coaster.
mhm.
My only qualm with Goliath, which is everyone's qualm, is that is a very short ride. I think the disappointing thing between Max Force and Goliath is Great America in both instances, or Six Flags, whatever you want to say,
Mhm, mhm.
had opportunities in land to make both those rides like significantly longer, or
Wow.
even like 1,000 foot longer. I mean,
Mm.
Great America has the Wilderness Theater back there, which they haven't used in years, and they would have torn that out and had Goliath go more of an out and back layout. Like Goliath might be one of the best RMCs in the world if they had done that. So, and the
I
same thing
can
with
see
Max
that.
Force. You know, I think I said them in my video as well. I think Six Flags stops, especially with the recent additions, they stop at like great, you know, and they don't put that extra like investment in to make a ride.
It's like we're going to add this new thing. It's going to be awesome, but we're going to cut out a lot. For example, Georgia Scourge, Georgia Cyclone was massive. You know, it was like a replica of Coney Island. Yeah. And then Twisted Cyclone, they cut out like 1,100 like feet of track and stuff, and it's an awesome ride. But again, wonder if it was bigger, just like Goliath.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, that's disappointing. I feel like that's kind of the Six Flags way, though, especially
of the new. Because what Goliath was, what year did it get?
2014,
14,
14, 15. Yeah.
Okay, so I would say from then to 18, or even if so now, because I'm not really sure what they're building in more recent, but they kind of stalled out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, most recent coasters are Max Force, which, you know, does the same thing, and then West Coast Racers.
West Coast Racers, yeah.
If it wasn't a Mobius, would be the same case, but
agreed.
Mobius,
yeah. So other than that, it was like 14 to 18. They kind of just were like, good ride, but we're not going to give it a great stamp of approval. We're going to cut out a lot of it. I don't know. It's weird, but
yeah. I think that's kind of been the philosophy ever since they stopped making great rides.
Man, the whole bankruptcy thing really shifted the dynamics. But I say, hey, I believe in Mike Spanos, the new CEO. He's trying to do new things. I don't think there's going to be major things, obviously, this year, but from hearing conference calls and reading investor reports, yes, I've nerded out and done things like that.
Yeah.
For video sake, content wise. There's going to be some big things, I believe, in 2022 and 2023.
Yeah, and from my understanding, they're straying away now from that new ride at every park every year type of deal.
They just spoke on January 11th kind of about doing that still.
All right, well, then never mind. I take it back.
Yeah, I was with you. I've heard the same thing, but then like the CFO spoke on it and they kind of referenced that they want to do that again.
Okay.
They want to have a great 2021 so they can kind of do that again for years to come.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know, but
I don't totally agree with that philosophy.
I'm with you.
From a corporate business financial perspective, it does make sense.
If you had so many issues in the past and you are now a new CEO, take what worked and then distance yourself. Run from what did not.
Right.
You know how to separate what didn't work and what did work. I'm not trying to say I'm a CEO and I know that mindset, but like it wasn't good. And all the cloning and then all the like breaking down rides. Again, this dates back. Our parks are connected through Z-Force. Like even back then, like it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, I hope they figure it out. I mean,
hopefully.
I think from a financial perspective, what they were doing with those, I mean, from a coaster enthusiast perspective, it's annoying to have little, you know, either like little flat rides added every year, like the major coasters are 40 free spins. That's frustrating, but ultimately, if it means that Six Flags is going to survive, especially in the current situation that we're in,
that makes sense.
You can't really complain about it.
That makes sense. If they can just keep like placing in little flat rides, and then eventually 2-3 years down the road, they get enough revenue to build something great. I guess that's not
right. But I do miss the days where Great Adventure was getting El Toro and King Kong back-to-back years. You know, wish we could go back to those days sometime.
That makes that
I understand why we're not there. So
that doesn't make sense. Like, just if you could go back. But let's talk a little bit about what American Eagle.
Yeah.
Okay. Your favorite coaster at the park?
Yeah, I mean, especially since I've moved back to this area, pretty close to Great America. Even when I'm driving through, like, I'll go to Six Flags Great America, and like the only thing I want to ride is American Eagle.
Tell me why.
For now, the last couple of years, they usually only have one side open. They kind of like rotate the days that they do. The blue side has a lot of issues because the track and the train are beaten up. I don't
remember what side I rode. I don't remember. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the track and train are pretty beaten up from running the ride backwards on the blue side for many years.
Okay.
And just to begin with, the red side, it has like an extra airtime hill. It has, I think it actually has 2 extra airtime hills. There's one immediately after the big helix, and there's another one when you're kind of doing it straight away.
Yeah.
But American Eagle back row red side is like probably my 3rd favorite coaster in the park, but it's like
that's
my personal.
That's where I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the drop is okay, right? You go down to this little ditch and you get shot up over those first airtime hills. Like those are some pretty like solid like flow ejector moments on that ride.
Yes.
And then obviously the helix is like pretty rough and shaky and kind of out of control.
A
little uncomfortable. Transition out of the helix is good, but on the red side you get a really good pop of airtime after the helix. There's another little bunny hill. You do like a little turnaround, and then there's a really, really good ejector moment at the end of the ride where you're flying over the top of your
Okay, so I must not have been on that one then.
When I go to Great America, like that's like basically the only this is like the first ride I want to ride every single time. Obviously it's been a while since I've been, but
I think in a way we have the same issue, just connections. Because like with me, with Scream Machine, Great American Scream Machine. 1973 coaster. It's very rough to majority of people. If you've seen a lot of just park goers, enthusiasts go there, they talk about it. They're like, "Oh, my back hurts. Like it's a backbreaker." All that stuff.
Yeah.
But the airtime on that it's an airtime machine. It is intense and it's crazy.
That's like my 2nd or 3rd favorite ride at your home park. Scream Machine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
so what? It would be Twisted, Goliath, then that.
I haven't been on Twisted. So I haven't been to your park since probably like 2014 or something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I love Goliath. Goliath is probably my favorite B&M Hyper right now. I haven't been on a lot of the new ones.
Mako for me.
Yeah, I haven't been on Mako, and I haven't been on like Behemoth and all those rides. Yeah. So it's right up there with Diamondback for me. I think.
Oh, nice. That's very nice.
Diamondback and Goliath. But then I love Mindbender too. Mindbender is
closed for 2020, but it'll be back this year.
Unfortunately, yeah. But then it's either Scream Machine or Mindbender too, or my 2-3 at your home park.
Very solid. But for now, until I get back on Mindbender, Scream Machine is definitely number. It depends on the day. I guess I understand where you're coming from. It may be 2 for me. It may be 3. Yeah. Twist is definitely 1. Then it may be Goliath, or it might be Scream Machine. But I absolutely love Scream Machine, and people hate it. People absolutely hate it.
I'm on board with you. It has some ridiculous airtime. That finale is.
It's crazy. Even. You hit that last pop of airtime, and then you hit the brake run, which is way too short, might I add, and you just jerk. Yeah. But it's still just amazing experience, and I don't know, people wanted to see it go. But that also brings me to, with American Eagle, what made me find you, the video that made me find it. Who is Park Pros? What is going on? What is this video about? Arm seeing American Eagle.
Right. Yeah. That was really my first video that kind of popped a little bit. I think I went from like 60 subscribers to like 600.
You had 60 during that?
Yeah, I was small. That was my first ever video to do more than like probably like 100 views. So
well, was that over time? Because from my studies and my research, your first video was to do that was Disneyland of what was it?
Oh yeah, that
video before that.
I did a video about Adventureland.
Yes, Adventureland.
That one was Overtime. That one got big.
Oh, Overtime. Okay.
And that is because my channel has a really weird like niche audience of Iowa coasters.
Is that why you keep catering to them?
I mean, first of all,
nothing's wrong with that.
I'm out of like Iowa content now. I've done all my videos, but yeah, I think like.
But I did notice that it's like a weird Iowa.
It is a weird, like, I think probably like 3 or 4 of my top 10 videos have something to do with Iowa, which is
Yeah.
like a weird trend.
Yeah.
But a lot of that had to do with just like timely news, like
Of course.
Rebranding got removed, and I was
Yeah.
literally the only channel that made a video on that, and then that got spread around to like a lot on Facebook and stuff of people reposting it.
Oh, nice.
And then when they announced Dragon Slayer, I was like the only like channel that made a video on that as well. So I think I kind of just got lucky with that. And then obviously I made my biggest video ever was the
100 million.
yeah,
Yeah.
about Lost Island theme park.
Yep.
It's opening in Waterloo in 2022. That video popped like immediately, and it's still by far my most watched.
Oh, it is. I've noticed. But about the American Eagle video, that was the one that made me find you. I don't know what was going on, but I just saw it popped up, and I thought it was really interesting. And I thought you laid it out very well. I was like, I've never heard of you. And well, what, you had 60 subs at the time, so of course, I mean, it would be hard to find you. And I thought it was very well done, and what you had graphics to see what it would look like and stuff. If I remember correctly, you did it, or you had somebody design it for you?
No, I reached out to a couple like No Limits creators and was like, that had already posted videos, and I was like, can I just use this as kind of like a background video thing? And they were cool with it. So
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
that video took, I think, like an entire weekend to make, and I had been working on it for a long time. And that was one of those videos when I started, I kind of had like in the back of my head that it was like, if I ever need a video to do like really well, I'll make this video. But I also like, it's kind of like, it's like you guys know, it's a ride that's kind of like near and dear to my heart, and it's a topic that like I'm very interested and passionate about because it's my home park and getting in.
And you mentioned the anniversary is this year of that, right? Or is it next?
I think it's this year, yeah. 81 it opened, so
okay, so it would be this year. And you were speaking on that would be good for the anniversary, or at least a refurbishment to make it better, something like that for the anniversary of it. So I can understand that.
And now, like, if I were to redo that video ever, there's a lot of different options now. Obviously, with like GCI's Titan track, that could always be an option. I mean, you could always do what RMC's doing with Lightning Rod now. Like, there's a whole different world of options for wooden coasters.
But it was just it was for the time, and it was very simple, and it was straight to the point, and I thought you nailed it. So that's what made me discover you.
A big reason why I wanted to start a channel is because I have a little bit of a background in like writing and journalism and almost.
Oh, nice.
So for me, it was always kind of like that post-production that I was interested in, like telling.
That's my favorite.
Narrative or story or whatever. I mean, my favorite part of creating the video is writing the script. Like, I hate doing the voice recording. I like editing, but like people don't realize how long it takes to get to like, the final product. And
it really does. It'll be a 6-minute video and it takes hours.
Right. It's like, exactly. But for me, what I try to do with my videos is, I mean, every coaster channel in the world has done like ride reviews and vlogs and stuff. What I try to do with my videos is I try to like take, yes, this is a ride review, but like kind of put an interesting angle on it. And
you have to.
That is not only like catchy and people will click on, but it tells an interesting story of either the overall park or the overall ride that like may not have been explored yet. And that's what, like you said, that's what you have to do in 2020 when there's a million roller coaster based channels. Really good content every single week. So for sure, a lot of people are getting thousands of views just putting out content quite often too. So and it's interesting to how crazy this community has grown, because I would, when I first started getting back to the hobby, I found Taylor's channel, and I was surprised that he obviously wasn't as big back then, but I was surprised that there was even a thing such as roller coaster YouTube, where people would talk about parks and rides. And then I got hooked on his channel, and then I was a big fan of Canada Coaster fan too. Whatever he's doing, I hope he's doing well. Yes, hopefully. I would just binge watch his channel. He was a really entertaining, and he would just sit there and talk about roller coasters with a slideshow and flip through a slideshow, and I'm like, I love this. I can't up for this. So, there's so much beauty in the simplicity of some things, but now people got incredible angles of
off-ride footage and just the quality is like you got to keep growing and competing, but being yourself, because like your core audience, always say your first 100 subscribers that found you when you were nobody, they're going to be down for you and ride with you through whatever. So
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I'll ever get to that point. I'm not really the artsy type. I'm not really a photographer or anything
but
like that.
you don't have to. I mean,
Yeah.
that's something else I wanted to speak on was your 2020 growth, man, is insane.
Yeah, it
The
was
pandemic was good to you in regards to content.
it was, and a lot of that had to do with just having a lot of time
Oh, for sure.
to work on videos and make them really good. I think the time where I really started to pop was kind of in the thick of the pandemic, where everyone was at home, and
For sure. I mean,
I would release
the
a
stats
video
are there.
Yeah, I'd release a video then that was just like a normal like ride review or something that wasn't like anything too special. I mean, I put a lot of time into all my videos, but I'd be getting like 4K views like easily.
Yeah, I've
in, like,
noticed
the
it's
first
straight
24
up
hours, so.
consistent. Like, I think one of your lowest videos is like 500, and other people would just be like, "Hey, I'm happy about that." But like, you consistently get like 2.5 minimum nowadays, and it's like you just started this channel. What you said, coming up on a year at the time of recording,
Just over a year now, yeah.
just a little over a year. Nobody at that point. You had the video in 2011, and then you come back, and it's like, who is this? And now he's on our radar, and like he's making good content. I don't know. I just thought your growth, because like I find somebody and then I'll keep saying, because my next video that I really loved of yours was the one talking about what was it, Mr. Freeze? That was supposed to come there.
Oh yeah.
Which
Posters of Six Flags Great America, which I'm working on the second edition of that.
Oh,
People keep
nice.
asking me, but that's a
First of all,
video.
your thumbnail was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. And just the video in general, I didn't know that. I didn't know that because I also was like digging and doing research with my own part, that we were supposed to get something. It was like we have a height limit, so height cap, so we can't build too high. So we ended up just getting like Batman, the traditional Batman clone. But I think ours is nice. You guys have what, the original, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I love that video of yours. But just overall, your content really like blew up. You started and you just had success. I think that's amazing because, like, I don't know, you were like the LeBron of you were naturally talented and it worked out. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. I mean, I wish I had time to make videos like that every week.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I have a day job, other stuff going on. But I'd love to I love creating content. I love kind of telling interesting stories like that one that people haven't really heard. I mean, a couple of more in the bank, and it just comes down to having time to get down and grind them out, which is pretty difficult, especially with my busy schedule. But I mean, I love making the content. I love when I have a chance to get down and tell an interesting story. That's what I try to do with my channel. That's kind of the entire purpose of it. So
yeah, absolutely. You had a chance to go full time. Would you take it?
Absolutely. Yep.
Absolutely. Okay. Nice.
If it ever got to the point where, and this is like years down the line, obviously, like a lot of
it may not be. It may not be.
If people keep liking roller coasters as much as they do, maybe not. But
just saying how they keep coming, like from just theme park stuff in general to roller coasters, they keep building more stuff. And then also nostalgia will always play a huge factor. Like as things get older and parks are throwing out rumors of things being torn down, that will always happen.
Exactly.
Like, 2011 rides will start being ancient.
Like whatever. It's crazy to think about.
It is.
But I think the day that I can pay the bills comfortably doing this job, I probably quit my day job. Yeah.
All day.
Pursue that full time. We'll see though. That's probably a long way away. A lot of work between now and then.
I love the being humble. But
guys,
it's coming.
Not stopping anytime soon. So.
Good. You should not. What is your biggest struggle as a creator? Other than time, of course, because of working and stuff, but like other than that.
I think balancing so many like ideas and like trying to decide. I wish I could tell like a really interesting. I mean, the answer is time. To be honest, I wish I had more
That's
time
fair.
to sit down and grind out stuff because there's so I'm definitely a perfectionist in my videos. I try to make them as
Mhm.
good as possible.
So you have a lot of
Script.
ideas in the back of your mind.
I have an entire Word doc of videos in the bank that I think would do extremely well. I just don't have like the time to.
Understood, but I think that's amazing because that's like me. You have more content than you have time.
Yeah,
That's the same
exactly.
thing here, which is amazing because you could keep going. You could make this your job.
Yeah,
Like, because
I
you
mean,
have ideas, and then every day, every year, you may also be inspired by somebody else, and other ideas may arise. So,
yeah. I mean, same to
sure,
you. I mean, I know
yeah,
that you have other ventures. I know you have like a sports channel.
I do, yeah.
Gaming stuff. I've checked out your
Yeah.
stuff a little bit in the past.
It didn't pop off like this, and I started grinding more serious now on this, and it's really growing, and especially like during the
Yeah,
last year 2020 when everything closed. That's when I really made a big push, was February. Like, I didn't have anything, like I was fighting, barely getting views, and then like that took off, and I just had an idea of like just speculating on ride openings, and that really helped me and just like blew up, and I just kept going from there, and people started subscribing and watching, and then when things reopened, I started vlogging more. And like, it's cool and it's weird because like you mentioned you like my vlogs, like Kalaheo mentioned it, Dale mentioned it, Kelly mentioned it, and other people mention it, but it's like not my favorite thing to do.
yeah, yeah. That
My
makes
favorite piece of content to make is actually like documentaries.
yeah.
um
Which it takes a long time to make
It
documentaries
takes a
like that.
very, very, very long time to make, but it's my favorite thing to do. But vlogs, it's easy because you lived it, you do it, and then it's pretty simple to edit.
Yeah,
But I mean, those always do well. But
yeah.
yeah,
And I think like even with your growth as well, I feel like this kind of community of like smaller creators has almost like risen up so much,
oh
especially
for
through the
sure.
pandemic where there's so many people to entertain, so many people bored at home.
Hmm.
And I think like kind of the whole community has kind of like almost grown together a little bit. Like there's a solid amount of coaster accounts that are like above like
I
a
was going to say that. Yeah,
2K followers, and they
it's
are all putting
usually
out really
around
good
2K. Yeah, Coaster Daddy, you, and Kalaheo Destination Thrills. Like, you guys are just peak. You're a little bit ahead of that race, and you guys are passing everybody. Like Kalaheo, when I had him on, he got to 5,000 by that point, or something like that.
yeah,
And you guys are like doing good, and I'm just rooting for everybody in this space to keep going. But like you said, a lot of people are in that like 1,000. Pretty much a lot of content creators in the space are monetized, so
yeah,
that's really good.
exactly. And I feel like I've never once experienced with other creators like any type of like malice or
Mm-mm.
like competition. I think it's like a really healthy kind of let's all grow together kind of
Yeah,
a philosophy, and especially in the lower and having guys like Chris Airtime Thrills that kind of
yeah.
supports that, and
Hmm.
El Toro Ryan like
Yep.
account for little channels. Um, it's really cool, and I think it's really kind of helped a lot of us smaller creators grow our own audiences and also
Hmm.
and out to their audiences and vice versa. So it's kind of been cool to be a part of it. I mean, I've only been doing this for a year, and
Yeah,
the burnout can be real sometimes, but at the end of the
I
day,
took that
I
break in
love doing
July.
it. Yeah,
I
I,
did.
I did as well. I took a couple months, couple
Hmm.
month break in July. So
Yeah, man. I was going so hard, and like during the like beginning of the pandemic of everybody being quarantined, I was going so hard, making 3 solid videos a week
mhm.
and live streaming. I was doing so much, and then all the parks reopened, and I hit those, and those popped off, and then I got tired after 4th of July, and
Yeah,
I posted it on every social media. I am taking a break,
yeah.
and also, it's a weird thing. Taking a break can hurt you
Oh,
because, like,
and on YouTube. Yep. Yep.
yes,
I experienced that firsthand, and I knew going into I took maybe like a 2 or 3 month break from July
mm-hmm,
to
mm-hmm.
October, and like the views don't come back just naturally. You know, it takes
No,
a little
you
bit.
gotta earn it.
Right, exactly.
It's weird.
When it comes to the time thing, I
Yeah,
envy Airtime Throw so much because he is consistently without a break,
bro.
without stop putting out like
It's
such good content every
it's inspirational how much he comes out with, the quality and how consistent. It's not like, when it hits, it's 3 p.m. his time, or he moved now, but it's always exactly the same time that
right.
same day, and it's
Yeah.
insane.
He is the face of consistency in the community.
Oh,
And
for sure.
that's a big attest to his success. He's blown up like crazy the last year or two during the pandemic.
Oh,
I think he's probably doubled.
that's how I found him. Like, I was just sitting there, it was late at night, just like a lot, like everybody going on in the world. You had content, so I found a lot of you guys out there through that time. So it was really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What was your favorite video that you ever made?
Favorite video I've ever made. I think the video that I'm most proud of would be the Lost Island video, the one that really blew up.
Is it because it blew up, or
No,
because
the reason I made that video, I do have some like family roots to Iowa and stuff, and I actually
Mhm,
grew up going to the Lost Island Water Park in
mhm,
Waterloo.
mhm.
So it was definitely like a video that was kind of like close to me, but also no one was like talking about it. Like we're
Nope.
getting a brand new theme park in the Midwest that
Yeah.
has an Intamin launch coaster, and like no one even on like Reddit or anything was talking about it. And I think the reason I'm most proud of that video is because it was almost like an investigation. Like I pulled like screenshots of the park plans from when the park was like had breaking ground.
I love doing that deep
I
dive
pulled, yeah,
investigation. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I searched like the deep internet to try to find any clues about like what rides could be, like just
I know
people
what you
coming
mean. Yeah.
together. You know,
Yeah. Mhm.
I spent a lot of hours on that video just trying to like figure out what is this park going to look like, because no one had really explored that on the internet.
Yeah. So
I
you
think
sound like me, you get lost. When you really like get hooked on something, like say it's like 9 p.m., you just get lost and you look up, it's midnight.
right, exactly. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
the same way. I get in that zone, and it was the same thing with the video I made on Mr. Freeze at Great America.
Mhm.
Like I was digging through Chicago Tribune
Oh, nice. Yep.
articles from
Mhm.
1997, 98, just trying to look for keywords, Great America, and
It's always great when it dominoes, like you find something and then you see a link or something or a phrase, and then you research something else and it keeps linking, like you go down the rabbit hole. It's like when you get in that zone, it's amazing thing. And you got to remember to go to the bathroom, eat,
yeah,
and
right,
get up because you get lost. But it's an
right.
amazing thing to be in that zone.
And
Yeah.
sometimes too, like an hour of research can be like one sentence in a
Oh,
video.
for sure. For
Like
sure.
I don't think like a lot of people behind the scenes know like how much time creators like you and I
Hmm.
and the people that are big put into you know, every single detail, every frame of the shot, like making
Yep.
sure like what I'm talking about on in the mic is what's showing on camera, you
Oh,
know.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of
Details.
things. That's what I was saying. Like, it'll be hours worth, or like, let's say an hour and a half of footage in that you recorded. Because believe it or not, you say I'm good behind the camera. I do mess up a lot, especially in voiceover, like videos from home and stuff like that. There's so much stuff. I don't know why I get in a weird anxiety before I record those, and nobody's there. I'm not live. I'm not vlogging. I'm at home by myself, and I get nervous because like
Them
I want it to sound right.
voice recording is my kryptonite, 100%. I do
Same.
a million takes on every single little sentence. So
For sure.
I learned
And
the stage there.
it's weird, and like I don't stutter, but I start to stutter, and I'm like, what is this? Like I'm a whole new person, and I get mad, but it comes out all right because I attest to a lot of my videos being post production. Is I love the editing aspect, like
You
you
got a
spoke
good voice,
about.
you got a good mic. Your audio is prime. You do a good job.
Thank you. Thank you. So that's a good favorite video to make. So I have three more questions, and then it looks like we're almost about to be up to ride Steel Vengeance. It's almost
All
here.
right.
It's almost
All
here.
right.
We're
Three
still in
more.
the queue.
Knock them out.
So three more trains, and then we're up there. So I have to ask, Everybody loves this ride, this coaster.
Okay.
Kelly mentioned this to me, and it became her favorite. Why is Phantom's Revenge so amazing? Why did you? I think you made a video like, should this be legal or something like that?
Yeah, I did.
Like, why is it? I can't wait to get out there and experience. I was supposed
You
to.
haven't been on it, right?
I have not been on it,
So
but I've heard great things. Why is it so amazing? Again, that's why I don't like POVs. What you said, because I saw that it seems super quick and there's pops of airtime like crazy, but like I know it can't hold up to riding it in person. So
yeah. First of all, the ride has like some of the best roller coaster trains ever. They're super comfortable. I mentioned this in my video, but the restraint is just a single lap bar, and it's literally like a pool noodle. Like it doesn't even like touch you if you don't have to.
Yeah,
I can't remember if it comes down or if it like clicks down. It might click down. I can't remember, but if you like don't want to be in your seat during the ride, like you don't have to be like the ride's restraints are ridiculous. And on top of that, the first drop is pretty good, the turnaround's good, it's got some decent positive G's, but there's two back to back, maybe two or three ejector hills back to back, little bunny hills that are like you're thrown out of your seat. And then on top of that, you do a little like left turn, and then there's like a double down, which is crazy to crazy ejector. It is just it's a really intense kind of like, it's an intense ride, and the fact that
can't wait to experience it.
Good, you're not restricted at all. Like it feels like you could easily get thrown out of this ride if you weren't careful.
I like how you were about to say if you wanted to.
It's a bucking bronco.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
The airtime is insanely aggressive. So,
where would you recommend to sit if it was your first time?
I'd sit in the back row. I mean, unless you want to do like the front row, like get your, what's about you about the ride and everything. Otherwise, head right to the back, because it's scary. Like it's a scary ride. After I rode it the first time, I was like, that's like kind of some scary airtime because it's so good. It's so intense. Yeah. And that was a ride I went in thinking like, okay, like it'll be a decent hyper coaster. It's a more like how I feel about the Morgan hyper coaster.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's a whole other animal. Like it is a beast.
Guys, check out that video of what we're referencing, how he feels about Morgan hypers on his channel. Yeah. But
I've got more why they suck videos in the pipeline. So
and that video is starting to blow up too, by the way.
It did pretty well. Yeah, it did pretty well to begin with. So I got a couple more in the pipeline, and I don't think a lot of people are really gonna like my opinions on those. So
keep pushing the limit on what people like and what they don't.
I might become a villain in the next couple months in the coaster community.
We need more of you. Okay, so if you were going to start another YouTube channel, okay, and it can't be another coaster channel, it can't be theme park related, it has nothing to do with this. It's kind of something that you're into that people may not know about either. What would that other YouTube channel be about?
So in the past, I probably would have gone. This is pretty mainstream, but like I probably would have gone like a gaming channel. I'm not like a huge gamer, but like it's like it would be so fun to like upload gameplay, and I mean if you were big, it would be great. Like ideally, like being a streamer is like that's like the career. Like
bro,
so fun. Sit home and play video games all day. I think something related to gaming would be great, and even like clips of like people who just take clips of other streamers and like throw them together make like so much money on YouTube doing stuff like that.
So it's insane. They stream and then they put their highlights and stuff in it. Millions of views,
right?
And they're just making money off of what they already did. It's insane, but it's definitely the number one thing on YouTube is gaming.
100%. In terms of what I would do now, there's a couple people that do this, but I'd probably start a channel dedicated to reviewing like. I'm a big country music fan, so and I think I
did not expect to hear that.
I have a lot of interesting opinions on different types of country music, and I think I could bring some interesting perspectives to that because I'm like a diehard country music fan. It's all I listen to. I listen to it when I'm working out.
Why don't you do it?
So, I don't have the time.
That's true too.
If this is my full-time job, I would consider it, but
okay, that's true.
down the line. I'd love to do that. I think I have some interesting opinions on for people that like country music. Although I'm sure most people wouldn't be interested in that, but yeah.
But there would be a lot of people that would be. Who knows? Who knows?
You can do anything on YouTube, and
that's true. That's a very solid answer. I've had some interesting answers for that one. Yeah, that's okay. That's pretty solid. Last question.
Yes, sir.
Pretty simple.
Okay.
What is your favorite thing to eat at a theme park? Let's say in general, and then let's say your local, your home park. So Great America.
In general, are you talking like?
So let's just say your favorite food happens to be at Silver Dollar City. Then that would be that answer.
Well, then that's gonna be my answer because
I knew it would be. So that's why I put it in two questions because everybody who goes to Dollywood or Silver Dollar City always has that as their answer, or Disney.
Yeah, so. I mean they have the best park food. There's not only
Well,
now they have that new at Silver Dollar City. They have that new barbecue place. I'm a huge barbecue fan.
Oh, nice. Same here.
A barbecue place in like right by where Mystic River Falls is.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think
it's great. I had it my last visit. It's really good. But then they have like almost like that underground restaurant that's almost like a family style like giving thing, and it's a little pricey. It's like $15 or $16, but like if you make that your one meal throughout the day, like you're chilling. You leave that. But I mean, it's no surprise that Silver Dollar City has the best food of any theme park.
Of course. Oh yeah, of course.
Park, Great America.
I where did I eat there? I think it was do you guys have a Strutters?
Yeah, we do. That's more recent.
Yeah, I ate there, and bro, that was like a 2-hour wait.
Yeah, I believe that.
It was a busy day.
Yeah, I usually leave the park if I'm going to eat. At Great America, I'm not sure if it's the case. If it is, it's my answer. But they used to have in Southwest Territory, there's this restaurant. I think it's a chain restaurant at Six Flags Parks. It's called JB's Barbecue.
Oh, JB's is my favorite. Right? That's my favorite at Over Georgia.
Have you had the wings there?
Yeah, and also that's what Calaheyo said with St. Louis. That's his favorite. Yeah.
I didn't know if that was like a chain or something, but
well, of the Six Flags, yeah, it is.
Yeah, exactly. They used to when they first opened, they had some like really good chicken wings there,
and they have incredible spiral fries.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. So that would be my answer at Great.
Yeah. And they sell alcohol too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Well, dang it, Cole. It looks like the train is here.
Man, we got to get on.
It exceeded the wait time. It was supposed to be a 75-minute queue, and it went over. We got to get like some type of pass or something. I don't know. Something.
Having too much fun, man. It was a good conversation.
Yeah, we had a great time, but I'm just mad. Like the wait time, they messed up. But anyways, so we're about to get on Still Vengeance right now. I got one more question for you.
Gotcha.
Where are we sitting?
You got to go back row on Still Vengeance.
So that works.
Roller coaster with the most airtime ever on any roller coaster. You got to ride in the back row. So
well, back row it is. We're about to get on it. So guys, thank you guys so much for joining. I want to say thank you so much to Cole, Park Pros, for joining me on this adventure in the queue. It was amazing. First podcast of 2021 and with a very special guest. So it was a pleasure, good sir. Thank you for joining me on a wonderful conversation here. Also, make sure you guys check out all of his social medias and his YouTube channel in general. It's listed here on the screen here on YouTube and also in the description down below for audio wise and just YouTube. So everything there. But thank you guys so much for joining us. We will see you next time in the queue. Take care, guys.
See ya. Thanks.